Do you find it tough to speak up because you're naturally quiet? Today I'm sharing 5 ways to look super confident without needing to be the loudest person in the room. It's great to have you here. I'm Covey. I work in wealth management at a global bank, which often involves speaking with celebrities and high net worth clients, so social skills are crucial. And so this channel helps you to level up your people skills to live a happier and more successful life. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's jump straight into 5 tips to look extremely confident if you're quiet. The first confidence tip is to start conversations on higher energy. If I'm at work or I'm at a party and someone comes up to me and they say, Covey, how are you? I could say the common answer and say, yeah, I'm good, how are you? Or yeah, I'm fine, thanks. But instead I always reply by saying something like, life is good, man, or the world is good to me. So the tip for you here is whatever vibe a conversation is at, try and bring the energy levels up by 1. And the best way to do this is everyone's gonna ask you, how are you? Just never respond with I'm good, and instead respond with something with a bit more energy like, I'm great, or I'm excellent, or life is good. And this will not only make you look more confident, but because you've brought the other person's energy levels up, they're going to be much more likely to want to be around you. The second way to look confident if you're quiet is to have a powerful posture. Right now, this might seem a bit weird, but I want us to try something together. While you're sitting watching this video, I want you to sit up straight. Now I want you to roll your shoulders back. I want you to have your head up. And finally, I want you to smile like this. What we were just doing there in that exercise is trying to have as open of body language as possible. And the benefit of having this posture is externally, you're going to look a lot more confident because you command more presence. And also internally, when you're having open body language, it tells your brain that you don't need to stress. The third confidence tip is to use the baby method. Let me share a quick story. So last weekend, I was at a networking event for content creators and I was speaking to this guy and he had 2 million followers on TikTok. And I remember my mind was just going blank and I was really nervous while I was speaking to him. And so I didn't come across well at all. I was stuttering my words and the conversation quickly ended. A few minutes later, I joined another conversation with a girl who's really big on YouTube. And I set a mission in my head that I'm not gonna come across as a nervous wreck like I did in the last convo, and instead I'm gonna come across as confident. And so I asked myself a really random question. I thought, how would I speak to her if she was just a baby or a toddler? And if you're just speaking to a little toddler, you're just gonna say, hello mate, how you doing? I like your jumper there, I like your hat, what are you doing? And so when I was speaking to this YouTuber, I was literally imagining that I was chatting with a toddler, and it meant that I wasn't putting her on a pedestal and I wasn't censoring everything in my head, and instead I was just saying whatever came to me. I was saying, oh, it's really cool how we have all these creators here, or I just spoke with this guy here and he was doing some really impressive things. Whatever came to my head, I just said it. And so the baby method is about not putting the other person that you're speaking to on some pedestal and being more willing to just say what's on your mind. This will make you way less nervous and intimidated when you're speaking to someone, and you will come across as much more confident. The fourth confidence tip is quite specific, but it's about having the mindset that every conversation you have will boost your enjoyment. Now, last summer, I was in the kingdom of Bahrain in the Middle East for my cousin's wedding, and it was a big fat Indian wedding, so it was 1 week long. Now, on the first event, I remember being stood by the bar with my drink, and I wasn't really going up to other people and speaking to others. Like, people skills is all I talk about, and I knew that for my long term, it would be really good for me to network and just meet new people, because you don't know what opportunities can come. But I just wasn't motivated to do so. So on the second night, I went with a completely different mindset, and I said to myself that instead of thinking of the benefits of going up to people as being really long term, like having a strong network in a few months time, I said instead think of the benefits being right here, right now, that you will enjoy the event much more. Because I knew that if I went out my comfort zone and introduced myself to others, I'd enjoy that very night much more because I knew more people in the room. Like, let's say I had a conversation with a guy and a few hours later I see him on the dance floor, I'm gonna now have more fun on the dance floor. And so that shift in mindset from instead of thinking of the long-term benefits to instead thinking of the short-term benefits of I'll just enjoy the night more, meant that I spoke to way more people on the second night. And so the takeaway is that if you're introverted or quiet, it can be really hard to go out your comfort zone and go up to other people. But if you can have a strong reason why, and you have the mindset that you will enjoy that night much more if you go up to more people, you'll be much more likely to have the confidence to introduce yourself to others. And so if you have the mindset that you just want to enjoy, you'll be more likely to come across as genuinely interested in the other person, which means they will see you as being more naturally confident. If you're getting value, then please subscribe. It helps me and you'll get more useful videos like this on your algorithm. The fifth confidence tip is to slow down your speech. During times when I know I'm going to be nervous, like if I'm preparing for a speech, I will speak deliberately slowly. This is because we all speak much faster when we're nervous, which means we can stumble and bumble on our words and just come across like a mess. And so having the mindset to speak slowly when you know you're going to be nervous will mean you'll probably end up speaking at a normal pace. Speaking slowly also gives you time to think, so you come across as more intelligent. This can help to build authority so you look more confident. confident. And you'll notice that some of the most charismatic people like Barack Obama give themselves time to think by speaking slowly so they can come across as more confident. And a quick bonus tip on speaking slowly: if you can take a deep breath before speaking, you're more likely to be more relaxed. Even though you now know some ways to look confident if you're quiet, you may not always have the energy. So I filmed a video that goes through specific 2-minute habits to be socially confident even if you're tired. I've linked that over here, so check that out. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.